Hi everyone. I created this video. It's pretty simple. It's just meant to be a check-in video with everyone and make sure that you guys are up to speed on the material we've covered thus far this summer, and then also talk to you a little bit about your previous assignment, the article critique, as well as next week, which will be our first exam. So let's talk a little bit about what should have been covered thus far. So you guys should be wrapping up with Module 2. Next week I'll be posting one video, and there will not be a 4-point assignment or activity linked with it. So really after this weekend you won't have that small assignment. I realize next week's kind of busy because you guys will be studying for the exam. Excuse me. So that means that activities 1 through 7 should be completed this weekend. Otherwise, keep reading, keep studying, get ready for the exam. It's going to be online. It's going to be 50 questions, multiple choice, very similar to these 4-point activities. So whatever you're doing to study for those, however you're working through the 4-point assignments, keep doing that, okay? Just think bigger picture now because this is going to be an exam. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a minute, but I did want to talk to you guys about the article critique for a second because there's some elements of the article critique that are going to be persistent throughout all of your assignments, and virtually everyone made some mistakes, and that's dealing with APA formatting. I know I've got some videos posted, that kind of thing. It can still be kind of tricky. But really pay attention. You have to be very detail-oriented when it comes to APA stuff. It's still something that I struggle with every so often. So what I've done is I wanted to show you guys a couple things, or at least talk about it with a paper that I wrote. Okay, so if we go over here, this is a paper that I wrote for a class, I think it was last year sometime. One element that you guys were really struggling with consistently is the header for your assignment. Okay, so this is the appropriate format for a running header. Notice running header is not in all caps, but the header itself, the title of your header, will be. Okay, and then also on the same line is where you're going to have your page number. Now probably this wasn't that concerning with everyone's assignment, but a very small detail that a lot of people missed was the font that you have this in. So a lot of times this has been posted or in your guys' assignments, you had the header in a different font than the body of your document. So something small, but make sure that you're paying attention to that kind of detail. So like here, my document is in Times New Roman, so my running header is as well. Also, I know in one of the videos, I believe the person who created the video said, oh, you just use the first few words of your title and you just make that your running header. Well, that's not quite the case. What you really want to do is you kind of take just the general idea of your title and make that your running header. So like mine, sibling comparisons of perceived sport competence in young athletes. I'm not going to put that whole thing as the running header. I'm not going to just put sibling comparisons and perceived sport. Okay, it's not like there's a random cutoff here. Instead, I just put what are the main topics of this. So sibling comparisons and sport competence. Okay, so it still conveys what the paper in general is about, so it's just something to concern yourself with. It's not random, okay? Otherwise, you guys did fine with this. A lot of you were putting your name, MSU, that kind of thing. Nothing concerning there. Notice now, and you guys did really well with this, now that the running header changes, it doesn't say running header here. I think only a couple people had issues with that. So just something to be aware of. The other element that a lot of people are missing is make sure when you're making your document, right when you write it, go to your layout, and it might be a little bit different. I'm on a Mac right now, so it might be a little bit different for your guys' setup. But make sure that your margins, see mine are even off for some reason, that your margins are at 1 inch, okay? So that means that this margin here is 1 inch and this one over here is 1 inch. A lot of times the default for Word documents is 1.25 on each side. And you can imagine that's going to make the margins or the paper a lot more narrow and also add length to the paper that we just don't need. So what we do is we set the standard at 1 inch. Now the only other thing, well, excuse me, there was two other main things that I noticed throughout your assignments dealing with APA. One is in-text citations, just something to be aware of. I don't think anybody really made this mistake. But if you're citing a paper like what I have here highlighted in yellow that has more than 2 authors, okay, the first time that you cite it within the entire paper, you're going to list everyone, unless there's, I believe the cutoff is 5 authors, okay? If there's 5, then you just put et al, so ETAL period, and then the year. But if there's 3 or more, you're going to list everyone out, okay? But if you ever cite this paper again, you'll no longer list everyone. So this is the first place that I cite this paper, this Gamble, U, and Card paper. But if you go down, you can see, oh, I cited it again, but now I've shortened it to et al. Just a minor detail, something to keep in mind, okay? If there's ever just 2 authors, most of you guys did very well with this. You're just going to put the 2 authors' name, and you'll always do that throughout the paper, okay? The other element that we should probably touch base on is the reference list. Excuse me, this is a bit of a long paper. So your reference page, make sure you call it your references. It's not a works cited page or citations. It's a reference page. What you're going to do is you'll order these in alphabetical order by the last name of the first author. Again, most of you did this just fine. The main things that were lacking, again, they're small detail things, is which part of the citation you're actually going to put in italics. So like for this one, this brown paper, a lot of authors, okay, not that big a deal. Here's the title of the paper, okay, and then here's the article or the journal title. We're going to put that in italics, okay, and then we also put the volume number in italics, not the page number, okay. I know that's kind of a goofy thing. A lot of people were either putting everything in italics or they weren't putting the volume number. Okay, small detail. Also another thing, this paper is a little bit tricky, but let's look at one a little bit different. Okay, so this Conger paper. Okay, again a long title that we have here, but this kind of demonstrates another small thing with APA. What you're going to do is the title of the paper, you will capitalize the first word of the title. Every other word will be lowercase unless there's a colon or a name. Then the first word will be capitalized again, and then everything is lowercase. Okay, colon, capitalized, and then everything becomes lowercase. Okay, so again, small detail, but just something to pay attention to, especially since you guys are going to be working into your term paper. Okay, if you guys haven't done this already, definitely check out PurdueOwl.com. This is their website. This is something that'll be a huge help for you, okay? If you have the APA manual, that's great. That'll work too. This is just another method, okay? But what's nice about this is it gives you all of these nuts and bolts or instructions on how to do citations or things with APA. So it not only gives you kind of like a narrative, but it'll also give you examples of what it should look like in the text. Okay. What else was there? Oh, another element here that's really nice is the APA sample paper. Simply because what they've got is they have a paper here, and then they actually put in their comments about how it should be structured and laid out. So again, this is PurdueOwl.com or edu. If you just Google it, it'll come up. Okay, so a great resource. Let's see, what else did I want to talk to you guys about? Sports Psych movies coming up, that assignment, make sure you're on top of that. What else do I have here? Oh, the exam's coming up. Let's talk about that for a second, okay? The exam, hopefully you guys have been checking in, or actually I know you guys have been checking in online. Hopefully the calendar helpful for you guys, you'll see that the exam is coming up when the availability ends. Okay, notice it ends at basically at midnight on the 13th, but I've got it open and set up, or I will have it open and set up to start at midnight on the 13th. Okay, so you will have all day to begin the exam. Once you start the exam, you will have 2 hours to complete it. Okay, so make sure you're getting in when you have time. It's only 50 questions, so I don't think you'll need the 2 hours, but that should be plenty of time to access this and go through the questions. If you have any technical difficulties, any problems, okay, your computer freezes, your Comcast cuts out the internet, whatever it might be, one, email me immediately as soon as you can to let me know that something happened. Two, you guys should be well prepared for that. So get to a library where there's reliable internet. Do whatever you need to do to make sure you have reliable internet. Okay. Now, I know it's kind of tricky, or it's kind of odd that we're going to have an exam online, and I'm not there to really answer questions or something like that, like we would in a normal semester class. So on Friday, while you guys are taking the exam from 4 to 6, I'm going to be available, okay, via email. What I'll post as well is a note here on the course homepage. So what I can do is put this here. I can put it kind of like a memo for you guys to see. And what I'll do is I'm going to post my Skype handle or name, as well as my Google for Google Hangouts. That way you guys can video chat into me or get a hold of me and ask questions. So again, that'll be from 4 to 6 p.m. I know that's not great for everybody, but if you think you're going to have questions, shoot for that period, okay? Or shoot to take your exam during that time. What else do we have here? I think it's pretty straightforward what's going to be covered on the exam. It's modules 1 and 2. I know that's a lot of material, but notice that the rest of the semester tapers, and you'll have more time dedicated to your paper and that kind of thing. Yeah, so if you have any questions about the exam, in the meantime, though, definitely get a hold of me so that way I can email back and forth with you and answer those questions. There was one other thing. Oh, the last element I wanted to talk to you guys about. I just created this folder called Feedback for you guys. What I'd like you to do, and I've created this, it's like a survey. It's not like the teacher evals, but kind of is. And I've got it open from now, or I will have it open from now until we'll go, I think it's next Sunday. Okay, so it's about a week and a half period. But what it is, let's see if we can get this to work, is it's a simple thing where I just want to get some of your guys' feedback. Oh, sorry, hang on one second. Let me go back. I think I need to change how I have this set up so that way I'm a student. So that way you guys can kind of see what it's going to look like. Let me see here. So what it is it's just an opportunity for you guys to let me know how the course is going thus far. Is there enough material? Are the lectures all right? How are you doing with the activities, the assignments, the term paper, that kind of stuff? Again, it's just an opportunity to really check in. There we go. Okay. Where is it? Okay, for some reason this is not letting me do what I want to do. There we go. Okay, so it's really basic. It's just, hey, any feedback you have about the course, what do you like, what do you wish was different, and then how are the lectures, activities, assignments, that kind of stuff going, okay? What I've done is I've set this up to be anonymous, okay? So anything you put in here, I'm not going to know who's sending it to me, okay? So please be candid, be honest, because if I can, if there's stuff that you absolutely hate about the course, if there's ways that I can deal with your concerns or at least address them, then I'll do my best to do that, okay? So that's kind of all I had for this. So again, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that that we need to discuss, please just shoot me an email. and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Oh, another thing with emails, make sure you guys are giving me a moment to respond to them. Sometimes I get them and I don't have time to respond to them immediately or the same day. So remember, like it says in the syllabus, give me about a day and a half to 2 days and I'll usually get a turnaround and return an email to you. Okay? So hope the material's going well, guys, and I guess I will just hear from you if there's anything going on. Again, please fill out the feedback, though. That's going to help me out a ton. Thank you.